We'll go to the second privilege of the floor, where anybody may talk on any subject they wish, within reason.
I appreciate your time, everybody. My name is Jacob Shimagawa, and I live in the town of Arkwright, right smack dab in the middle of hell. Our municipalities turn their back on every single one of us. In 2002, this project was promoted to the town of Arkwright. We unanimously showed our opposition to it, and from then on, we heard nothing until February of last year, when half of the residents received manila envelopes from the Army Corps of Engineers, and half of them received nothing. In February, they started dropping trees every single day. 750 acres of trees have been cleared. Owls, hawks, birds of prey that normally fly at night were displaced in the middle of the day in March. I spotted 3 bald eagles this past summer. I talked to the DEC. There's 175 breeding pairs of bald eagles that use the fly space from Lake Erie to Canada Way. To look at what they've done to my home, to look at what they've done to my town, is a disgrace. In a township that was zoned 67.5% residential/agriculture, never residential, or never industrialized, and never commercialized. Every single day for the last 9 months, I have dealt with noise, dust, disruption, diesel fumes coming through my property, total disregard to anything as far as public safety, public appreciation to peace and quiet. And I worked construction for 14 years. And I delivered concrete to the one in Wyoming County by Darien Lake. And I had residents show me that I was number one in their world every single day they saw me. And I never quite understood why until now. We should never have had these turbines put in our backyards. The Vista 900s, which are being promoted, 1,300 feet is what the workers are designed to be away from when they're in operation. Some of these are going 1,500 to 1,800 feet behind residents and homes. They should never have been put there. Our municipalities never gave us an open vote, but by God, they make sure that they plaster little Arkwright picnic signs every 500 feet on every main road so that everybody knows when the picnic is. But we were never notified of any vote of any kind because they knew the opposition was strong. Please, if you don't want people to be forced from their homes that they've had and properties that they've had in their families for hundreds of years, please don't let these go any further. Do your due diligence to look at the health effects, the risks, the damage that they do to the environment. You look at the lawsuits from Kansas, from California all the way to Michigan. Every lawsuit states the same things, the same health effects. How can so many people be wrong in just this country alone? Not to mention Australia, and Spain, and the UK, and Germany, who were the godfathers of the windmill back in the 80s, who now I think are going back to coal because they realize the undependability that these wind turbines are. They're subsidized. The Green Energy Act of 2009 was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, when the provincial government created 21 articles to silence the municipalities throughout the whole province, to put hundreds of them up behind people's homes for financial gain. And that's it. They're not green. They're not good for the environment. And if anybody thinks that they are, look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself a fool, because they're not. They're pushing people off of their homes, and they're destroying our landscape that we've all busted our asses for to make what we've had and make a home out of what they are. It's one thing to leave it when you want to. It's another big thing to be forced away from it because you can't deal with it. And I have my 2 kids right there. the health risks and the side effects are not something I'm willing to take a chance on putting my kids through. And if any single one of you ever sees what these monsters look like and what they've done, ask yourself if you want them in your backyard. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. I'm Tina Graziano, Forestville, New York, town of Villanova. I'd like to speak on that local law, 1317, the County Code of Ethics law. This concerns unethical behavior concerning industrial wind turbine projects. My husband, a town board member, requested 3 times on public record to notify all addresses in the township by postal mail of the pending industrial wind project. 2 times noted with no action. The 3rd time, Res America agreed, but again, no action was taken. They flat out lied to the public. My husband voted no to this project. Another member, after voting yes that night, reacted to the public that showed up. And he said, "I wished you would have come forward earlier in this process." They all replied with the same answer. "We were never notified till now, and now it's too late." Shameful what has been done without public input. How does the public find this out when the signed landowners are the only ones ever updated? It's beyond normal comprehension that the wind companies feel that only the people inside and 500 feet outside of the project area, as drawn by the wind company, are the only people that should be notified. 500 feet? That's the height of these turbines. That's misbehavior and a direct slam to every resident and taxpayer in this entire county. Certainly unethical in every form. The bare minimum requirements are only used for public notifications. A small ad in the legal notices is all that's required for public hearings. Myself and another resident put up posters and paid for ads in the local penny savers to get this info out to the residents. As hardworking taxpayers, we didn't have the money to support a mass postal mailing to all residents. Residents were still missed at the hearings. So underhanded and sneaky. This is how the wind companies work to avoid confrontation from public opposition. They often are not put on the meeting agendas as they come and speak during the public speaking portion of the town meetings. I know this because I've seen this in different townships. They show up unannounced to the public, but certain landowners and supervisors seem to be privately notified. The board members and residents are left in the dark. Unethical is the lawyer that is paid for by the wind companies to represent the town boards. He leads them by telling them only one side of the project. He tells them what they should do to keep their money as the #1 priority. This lawyer even played doctor at the hearings by dismissing every health concern addressed. Some people actually thought this guy was legit because he worked for the town. Nope, he's being paid by the wind company. All 3 projects have this same lawyer that is funded by the wind companies. How can this not be considered a conflict of interest? If the boards turn down the project, his job is finished. But if he leads the boards to approve, he continues to remain on the payroll. You can't represent a group fairly when you are being paid from the company that's making an incredible profit when the project is approved. You have the supervisors and a legislator, or 2, say the lawyer is being paid by the township. Well, that's only on paper. The deposit comes from the wind companies, and in turn, the town writes his check. Politically correct in its purest form. I'm asking tonight for you to adopt a statute or a law that requires each town to inform the county legislator and every citizen in each town that a wind corporation wishes to have that town approve the development of a wind factory in that said township. Allowing town supervisors and town board members to make these monumental decisions without any background or experience, without public input from everyone, and without being overseen by our county government is absurd. Look now at the destructive Arkwright project and all of their internal conflicts of interest. This will definitely affect every part of Chautauqua County. The vast and immense devastation throughout this township is so incredible that it should now only be classified as industrial and toxic. And that's not the only one. 2 more projects are waiting in the wings. It won't stop until the public uprises and says, "No more. This is our home." Believe me, if we all were notified properly, these projects would have been terminated. Opposition is growing as residents are educating themselves. Please stop this shady practice of keeping residents in the dark. It's never an issue getting notified by mail when the taxes are due. Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution allows protective measures where local or upper levels of government refuse to act to protect the citizens of a community. The 9th and 10th Amendments provide the authority to do so. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to all.
Karen Harvey, Mayville. I would like to speak to local law 1317, the County Code of Ethics. You have on your desk a film, the first 4 minutes of which will allow you to see what is happening in Arkwright currently along Route 79, Center Road, Route 83, Straight and Meadow Roads. I hope you will take a look. It's only 4 minutes long, the first part. If the towns of this county respected the code of ethics that you have in your records here, there would be no industrial wind turbine factories built in this county. The net negative economic impact of these turbines will affect the entire county. Therefore, the entire county should be informed about the industrialization of our rural, pristine, scenic hills and woodlands and the associated threat to our quality of life. Concerning a code of ethics, I would like to suggest a county statute, a statute or a regulation that would ask that the towns that are considering having industrial wind turbine factories in them should notify you, the legislators, this legislature, that they are considering approving a proposal from those industrial wind turbine corporations. I would also ask that that regulation indicate that all citizens of a town should be notified that their town is considering the proposal of an industrial wind turbine factory in their midst. This has happened in other places. The town of Attica, New York, in neighboring Wyoming County, has passed such a resolution. They felt it was the ethical thing to do. They sent a questionnaire to every citizen of the town of Attica and asked them if they wanted their board to approve the development of an industrial wind turbine factory in Attica. The citizens responded that they did not, and the town board respected their wishes. All over Chautauqua County, turbine companies may be talking to town boards, trying to sign them up before the federal production tax credits end. The PTCs are what subsidize them and keep them going. It is important that the whole county is made aware of these negotiations. It's only ethical. According to the Institute of Energy Research, the official efficiency rate for wind turbines in western New York is only 24%. So when the capacity rate for planned turbines is given as 128 megawatts, for a 40,000 acre impact, the real figure is 30.72 megawatts. This equates to the receipt of 24% of the money promised by wind turbine companies if the payment is based on megawatts produced. NRG in Dunkirk, gas produces electricity there. It occupies 98 acres and it can produce 435 megawatts of electricity using the newest, cleanest gas turbines available. Compare that with 40,000 acres for the production of 30.72 megawatts of intermittent, expensive, undispatchable, and environmentally devastating power. Compare 40,000 acres to 98 acres, 30.72 megawatts to 435 megawatts. Please, don't let these secret deals continue. Find a way to regulate so that we are informed, because that's all we ask, is the ethical right to be informed of what's happening in our county. It's very important to us. Thank you.